Art is central to my life. I live and breathe art, and it's what I think about all day long.
To me, art is a visual experience. It's how we look. It's about appreciating the world around us.
Sometimes you look at a painting and you hear things, or you look at something and a color makes you smell something.
Art has not just affected my life, it is my life. It's so much part of my everyday that I couldn't separate art from everything else I do.
I think when you see a really great work of art, you really just, you draw breath. You once again have that shock of recognition, that remarkable sense of the immediacy of the creative moment and its permanence in a great work of art. The mission of the Bruce Museum is to be a community-based, world-class institution. And that is a very, very important distinction to make, because we do shows of a quality that are done by much larger institutions. But for an institution that is a very intimately scaled institution, we're a small regional museum, but we play with much bigger players in the international stage of exhibitions. We are now recognized, acknowledged throughout the international community as a museum of considerable standing. This has been borne out by the press that we receive. The New York Times calls us pint-sized but plucky, punching above our weight class, all kinds of backhanded compliments, but we'll take them. The Bruce Museum has now received loans from an astonishing array of institutions, not only our own National Gallery and the Metropolitan, but also internationally. We hung in this gallery in the Von der Heyden show one picture from the Louvre and another one from the Uffizi next to each other. I don't think it had ever been together. And there were other works from the Thyssen Museum in Madrid, from Dresden, from Berlin, from every major museum, the Rijksmuseum, the Mauritshuis, the National Gallery in London, all have lent to the Bruce Museum. This is a very sophisticated community, the preeminent community for collecting of private art in America. It is a community that has very high expectations given its proximity to New York. It has very high standards, but we meet those standards and exceed them. We actually give them something that is worthy of their own very sophisticated understanding of the art world and of the complexity of a changing world of science.
Like any growing institution that hopes to be a great institution, leadership is essential. You have to have great leadership. Since Peter Sutton arrived, the whole place has changed significantly. Everything has been improved, the quality of the shows, the quality of the scholarship behind the shows, the number of activities. It's just a vibrant, active place now, much more than I think it was 20 years ago.
Basically, he has brought to bear a extraordinary exhibition focus that has put this museum on the map.
I think it's important that we not lose our focus, that in fact we remember that we are a museum of art and science.
All exhibitions that we organize are tested by their educational rationale. You have to make certain that what we are doing is actually not only for the greatest good or for the greatest number, but actually edifies and entertains.
And we do 1,200 programs every year, which is just unbelievable. 3-4 nights a week, starting at the youngest age children, all the way through, very sophisticated art historical seminars, dialogues, panels, films, and so everybody. There are school programs, and not just with the arts, with the sciences as well.
Museums are about objects and exhibitions, and that's the heart of the museum, and education is the soul.
Well, my favorite part is the Native American just down the hall. I like that exhibit. It looks like real stuff, so it's pretty cool. And we're studying the Native American school.
I can assure you children are not shushed when they come to the Bruce. When you're looking at a painting, you hear them across the hall, that's for sure.
And the reason is because a typical day can start off at 9:30 a.m. with a little pre-K class coming in for their very first trip to a museum ever. And that can be then followed by a group of second graders, perhaps 2 classes arriving at once, doing simultaneous programming in the natural history galleries. And then that could be followed in the afternoon by an art lecture and tea that's designed for adult audiences that's maybe more focused on decorative arts or fine arts. And then in the evening we might have a presentation by a living artist who's coming to talk about a contemporary art installation that's here at the Bruce. So there's a gamut of programming with any given day. Multiply that by a week, multiply it by a month, multiply it by a year, and it ends up being, tens of thousands of people visit the museum just for an education program as a result of some wonderful exhibition that we have up in art or science.
Working with children is one of the things that keeps you young.
And they grew carrots. Beaver. Oh, there's a beaver down there.
In this day and age, when so much of your instruction and your understanding of things arrives visually, and I think visual literacy now is an absolute crucial skill that can only be taught truly well at a museum.
We're going to need everybody to make this a success, and we not only want to build a beautiful addition to the museum, which has been designed by an outstanding architectural firm, but we also have to build up the endowment to make sure that we can defray the additional operating costs.
To raise endowment is to ensure that the institution is always here and always available for people. That's something you can be very proud of as a director.
It's enriching your community, and that blesses everyone.
Come to the Bruce Museum. It's fun.